Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview covering VCT Americas KICKOFF 2025. For this occasion, I'm here accompanied once again by Adam of KRU Esports. First time of 2025, of course. And so for this occasion, they're coming off of a victory over 2 Game Esports in the start of their lower bracket run in said competition. So Adam, thank you so much for giving me another chance to talk to you. And first off, congrats on the victory. Pleasant way to come back after losing to Loud in that first match in this competition. So want to ask you about that first and foremost. Having to come back with a W. How's that? How are you feeling?
Well, we are getting into pace. Like we are beginning of the year. Like the first match was always a hard match, but I truly believe that we didn't play not at all, not even close to our standards, to our minimum. In some ways, understandable. Like uh, the first matches of a team is hard to find like our way, our style, our identity, and we have been working on it since the off season, and finally we are reaching some points where we can where we feel that we can develop, that we can play in a really strong level, and nothing like happy to be able to show it today, but we are still on the work. Like we really need to fix a lot of things more, and it's a matter of patience, matter of time, and I'm sure that the team will be and will succeed as it is supposed to.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think one dimension of it, when it comes to looking at the team's struggles, especially in that first match against Nile, was like the fact that you had to bring in adverso so quickly because I believe like at that time, he had like less than a day since like flying to Los Angeles from his native country. So I mean, that kind of obviously put a bit of a wrench onto the team's performance. But like now that you kind of had some time to slot adverso into the squad, what do you feel has been the biggest things that the team kind of been working on the most in terms of like from the first match up until now?
The biggest thing about this team is that we have um, so all of the players are high quality players with a lot of experience, with a lot of years on their back, and it's hardest thing is to make five different players that thinks different, that has a lot of reasons on why they think or why does they approach the game the way they does. It's to make them think the same way. That's pretty challenging. It's something that we face for the first time. It also is because it's the first time that we build a roster from different teams with so much time, with so much experience under their belt. So that's the thing that most nerves us when we are not able to follow the same idea or to play under the same game under the same system. Yeah, that's the most challenging part, and but I'm sure that we are fixing it. Like we are working on it a really really good rhythm. So as I said before, it's just a matter of time that we just go with we just flow and go with the tournament.
Of course, it's definitely an understandable thing to say because like literally I'm asking you these type of questions at the start of the year, so it's not like we're literally at stage two, end of stage two playoffs, different kind of races. So definitely good to see good to know your view of the team's form, at the start of the year, and then looking over into the rest of this year, not even focusing on kickoff and still, nevertheless, since this is we're still at the very beginning of the year. I kind of want to ask you, Adam, about the creation of this squad because you kind of mentioned it right there in your previous answer. Obviously, much more different compared to the end of the 2024 version of KRU Esports. Obviously, you guys brought in Mazino, adverso. You saw the exit of Heat and then also Motita. And want to ask you sort of what enabled you to bring in these two type of players. Of course, Mazino is already like well known in crew. Basically, spent a lot of time in that squad before going over to Leviathan, then going back. So bringing that all together, Mazino for adverso. Why and what's been the biggest difference from like last year's squad to this year's squad so far?
Yeah, Mazino has always been close to the team since franchise year one. Um, and we have always had a lot of esteem with him. Like we have always seen his value as a player, and yeah, it's always hard to find a good flex, like a strong flex that fits into the team. It's hard. It's a really hard role, and also our team. It's also not easy to play with. We have hard guys or people that understand the game in a specific way, and we need people that wants to follow that path to think like us, to play with it like us. And I don't know, like Masino, I always say it, Masino is like a bridge. Uh, Literally, I think that there are players that are like doors or windows, um, but he's a bridge. He's someone that is pretty strong in making the team connect between each other, and he's really strong on making ideas to go through. So that's something pretty valuable on him and adverso. Since year one we are always struggling to find a strong leader. We have had Melzer as an IGL or Klaus and and those two, but in game they are leaders, but outside the game, um, their personalities are not that leader that we were looking on that we can find on adverso. And the thing on adverso is that he needs to learn more the flow of the tier one. Like he was pretty strong in the tier two, and that is also a strong level. But I feel as in the tier one there is some skill difference, or some teams are pretty dangerous here. Like every team is pretty difficult to play with. They're pretty smart, pretty. They're always think about that series where the meta is created, and so once you start playing in this level is hard. And but we're happy with him because he's learning, he's growing in a fast pace, and also he's a pretty strong leader, not only in game but also outside the game. So again, it's just a matter of time. Masino is doing better. He did pretty well today. Others also did better today, and I'm sure that as the tournaments goes on and the season goes on, the team will be stronger and stronger week on by week.
Yeah, because I do remember last year in which crew was basically struggling to find an IGO and kind of mentioned it right then and there and outline how the situation was like. Then I guess like with Adverso now it's 100% like clear cut official. You know, there's no need to make any changes on the IGL link like compared to last year, right?
Yeah, no, that's also something that we wanted Adverso to give to us. That we don't want to keep changing IGOs through the year. That's not healthy. That's not something that we wanted to do last year, because we had Melzer, and then Melzer stopped being IGL, and Klaus started being IGL. Then Klaus was out of the team, and Melzer went back to be IGL, and that's not healthy. That's not easy to deal with. And so for this year, we said we need to find an IGL that can also lead in game and also lead the team outside the game. And that's the plan. It's to commit to that, to work with that, and I'm sure that Adverso will is the profile that we need.
Hopefully you guys are able to make that happen in due time, as you've been seeing time and time again in this conversation. Got a few more questions before I wrap this up, Adam. More so, just sort of the future. Next opponent, either the winner of 100 Thieves NRG. Your thoughts on either squad? You know, your impressions and what do you feel those kind of things will present as a challenge for your squad in that next match.
Yeah, I hasn't seen their games. I mean, I just see them, but just like sneak, not in detail. Um, but I truly believe that every team is really hard in America, especially the NA teams. But I feel as they have an advantage over us, or the Brazilian teams, that we have to deal with a lot of stuff and come to the US and everything. And all of those teams have been working since, I don't know, October, November. Those are strong teams, difficult teams, but I'm pretty sure that if we keep improving this week, like we have like a week until our next game. If we keep improving, if we keep working, if we keep the pace, the rhythm that we are having in the scrims, I'm confident that we will be ready to win that game.
Of course, and hopefully you're able to make that happen in due time, and especially on that next match. And so, Adam, thank you so much for answering all my questions for this conversation. I really do appreciate it. Of course, gonna give the best of luck to the team, but most importantly, for yourself, man.
Thank you.